Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to WCBN FM Ann Arbor's coverage of Michigan women's softball. I'm Jeremy Parks, alongside me, Morris Fabry. We're coming to you live from Buckeye Field here in scenic Columbus, Ohio, with the semifinal of the Big Ten Women's Softball Championship. Today, the Michigan Wolverines facing off against the Northwestern Wildcats. Michigan won yesterday in a 16-1 rout, and Northwestern advancing in a 3-0 victory over the Purdue Boilermakers. Morris, what are you looking for here today out of both Michigan and Northwestern?
Well, it all starts with the girl on the rubber. That's Big Ten Pitcher of the Year, Megan Betza, coming off a pretty good game yesterday against Penn State. She only made one mistake on the day. That one was deposited over the fence, but I think that she's going to have a good offense behind her, judging by the 16 runs Michigan put up today. This is a team that has been, I'd say half of the starting lineup has been honored with Big Ten honors, if not more. Carol Hutchins is the coach of the year. This is a great team with a great supporting staff, and just expect them to stay hungry and do more of the same against this Northwestern team.
Absolutely. Well, let's get you going with the first start of the Northwestern lineup. It appears as though we're about ready to get underway, so we will get you the rest of the lineup at the end of the top of the inning. But leading off for the Northwestern Wildcats is going to be the freshman of the year in the Big Ten, center fielder Sabrina Rabin, also a Big Ten first team selection. After her is number 10, the right fielder, batting second, Andrea DePrima. And batting third for the Wildcats is the shortstop, number 0, Andrea Filler. And it looks as though Megan Betza is on the mound, cleaning off the rubber strip, and she's about ready to get underway here on a blisteringly warm afternoon here in Columbus. Game time temperature right around 88 degrees. Just a very light wind blowing in towards the outfield flag at about 2:20 out there, the American flag blowing just gently. Very latent heat day, Morris.
Yeah, absolutely. This top three for Northwestern, all of them, all Big Ten selections, with Rabin and Andrea Filler being first team all Big Ten, and DePrima hitting after them, second team all Big Ten. So a potent 1-2-3 for Megan Betz to handle here in this first inning.
I believe we're waiting for a moment to get the approval with the Big Ten Network television coverage to get the first pitch underway here.
Got to get that ad money.
And it appears as Sabrina Rabin is just kind of towing around outside the box here.
Outfield, infield shaded way, way in on Rabin. Must have some considerable speed on her. She has actually stolen successfully 28 times in 32 attempts.
And Betza has now stepped to the rubber, and she's ready to get this game underway. And Betza's first pitch to Rabin is going to be fouled back towards the third base line. And that'll make the count 0-1.
A little bit of fumbling and bumbling down that left field line. The stands packed on that side of us.
The 0-1. Up high. Betza tried to climb the ladder there, but Rabin did not bite, and that makes the count 1-1.
Betza very comfortable on that ladder. She likes to bring her heat up in the zone and dare hitters to catch up to it.
The 1-1 for Megan Betza. It's going to be sort of a foul poke yet again towards the third base dugout of the Michigan Wolverines. And that'll be the second strike on Rabin, count 1-2.
Looks like Rabin taking a lot of half cuts up there, and really that's all she needs to do to find a little hole between the very, very harshly drawn in infield and the drawn in outfield.
1-2 from Betza. Bit of a check swing, tried to climb the ladder again, but Rabin did not go, and that'll be another ball high, run the count 2-2.
Betza again trying to climb the ladder. Rabin checked and swing. The ball got away from Lauren Sweet, so perhaps fortunate that Rabin didn't go around with that swing.
2-2 offering from Betza is going to be swung on and missed, and that'll be the first strikeout of the game for Megan Betza. And Sabrina Rabin will head back to the dugout for the first out of the game for the Michigan Wolverines.
Betza stayed on the inner half of the plate there, not letting Rabin get that bat extended and put the barrel on it to poke it over the infielder's head.
And that brings up the right fielder, Andrea DePrima. And the first pitch from Betza to DePrima, ball high, a little bit above chest level and perhaps a bit outside for ball 1. Betsa steps to the rubber again. The 1-0 is going to be in there for a called strike right on the outside portion of the plate and about waist high. Good pitch there from Betsa.
Home plate up. Naomi Erdahl went up with the right hand there. The first base ump is Leah Bowen. At third base, Terry Holt.
The 1-1 up and in for ball 2 on Andrea DePrima.
A lot of heat on that fastball by Megan Betsa. You could tell she put a little bit extra on it, trying to get ahead in the count.
See what she brings with the 2-1 here. That'll be swung on and fouled back directly behind home plate and into the netting for strike 2. And more, she is putting a lot of heat on those balls, but also a lot of heat out here on the field today. And those players are going to be struggling with keeping hydrated as we go throughout the afternoon. Betsa readies with the 2-2. Fouled back yet again, just off the tip of the bat. DePrima saving herself from a potential strikeout to keep the count at 2-2.
Betsa had been hammering the inside part of the plate for the majority of these first 2 at-bats. Tried to find the outside corner there. DePrima with a defensive swing, keeping the at-bat alive.
The 2-2 from Betsa. Up high, climb the ladder again. And DePrima not fooled, run the count full, 3-2.
Betsa seems a little bit amped, throwing a lot of hard fastballs. Let's see if she goes to a breaking ball here, which we haven't seen much of today.
And the payoff pitch from Megan Betsa will be in there for a called strike 3. Home plate umpire Naomi Erdahl goes up with the hand, and DePrima didn't even lift the bat off of her shoulder. And just like that, that's 2 strikeouts now for Megan Betsa.
She didn't take a lot off of that pitch, but it looked like she backdoored Erdahl with that slider. Sometimes hard to tell whether it's a breaking ball or a fastball because Betsa just throws all her pitches so hard.
That brings up the shortstop, Andrea Filler. And the first pitch from Betsa to Filler is ball 1 on the outside part of the plate.
Northwestern leads off with a couple lefties, but starting with Filler, the rest of their lineup, all righties against the righty Betsa.
The 1-0 from Betsa will be a bit high, but still a called strike. A well-placed pitch in the top of the zone from Megan Betsa makes the count 1-1 on Andrea Filler.
And a good job of Sweet holding that glove firm on the outside corner.
Betsa winds and readies. The 1-1 pitch is on the outside edge of the plate, and Filler holds for ball 2.
Looks like the infield and outfield are straight away. Filler does have a bit of pop, hitting 10 home runs on the year.
The 2-1 from Betsa will be swung on and fouled right towards the third base dugout of the Wolverines and bounce off into the shallow left field area where Abby Ramirez makes the cleanup.
Sorry, Filler actually has 12 home runs on the year to go with 60 RBI leading the team. They have her switched up with DePrima in the stat sheet in front of me right now.
The 2-2 from Betsa will be in there for called strike 3. The second called strike 3 in a row for Megan Betsa, and she strikes out the side to end the top of the first inning. So we head to the bottom of the first here from Buckeye Field in Columbus, Ohio, with the score Northwestern 0, Michigan 0. You're listening to WCBN FM Ann Arbor's coverage of Michigan women's softball.
There you go. Yeah, it looked like a pretty similar inning to her first inning against Penn State yesterday, in which she struck out the side. Betsa came out looking dominant, and Michigan's offense, in scoring 13 runs in the bottom of the second, spared her arm so that she could come out here and start today and try to get her team propelled into the championship against the winner of the next showdown between Nebraska and Iowa that'll take place after this game.
And we'll get to you now with the Michigan lineup for today. Leading off as usual and playing center field is Sierra Lawrence, the second team All Big Ten selection and all defensive selection. Batting second and playing second base, first team selection Sierra Romero. Batting third and playing left field, another first team selection and all defensive selection, Kelly Christner. Batting fourth and playing right, Kelsey Susala. Batting fifth and playing catcher, the second team all selection, Lauren Sweet. Batting sixth and playing third base, Lindsay Montemarano. Batting seventh and the designated player today, Aiden Falk. Batting eighth and playing first base, Tara Blanco. And batting cleanup, the second team all selection yet again, Abby Ramirez. And on the bump today for the Northwestern Wildcats is going to be the right-hander, Kristen Wood. And Morris, what do you know about Kristen Wood?
Well, Wood's got a 4.09 ERA on the year. She has 16-9 on the season. Issues a lot of walks. 128 players walked over 179 innings. Not the number one option she is the number one option for this Northwestern team. She pitched yesterday a complete game 3-hit shutout against the Purdue Boilermakers. So she carried this team to this point, and we'll look to do the same against a lineup that's a little more intimidating in the Michigan Wolverines.
Well, the Wolverines put up a lot of runs early yesterday, a 13-run breakout in the second. They'll look to do that again early on here as there's a quick meeting on the circle for the Wildcats as they get ready to start this bottom of the first inning. Sierra Romero is in the box, Sierra Lawrence is in the box and ready to go here. As Wood steps to the rubber and gets ready to throw the first pitch of her outing today. The first pitch from Wood. Up high in the zone, but a called strike on the upper edge. Count 0-1 on Sierra Lawrence.
Lawrence, a 5-tool player for these Wolverines, presents so many issues for opposing teams with her power and her speed on the base paths.
The 0-1 from Wood. Outside part of the plate and off the plate for ball one as Lawrence held up there.
Wood with an off-speed pitch there, took a lot off of that one, doing a good job of burying it low where Lawrence couldn't wait on it and drive it.
The 1-1 from Wood. Up high, tried to climb the ladder there and a bit outside. Ball two. Morris, it would appear as the makeup of the crowd here today is probably about 80 to 20 Michigan fans versus everyone else here. A lot of support for the Wolverines here in Columbus today. And I'll bring the 2-1 from Wood outside, off the plate again. Ball three, count now 3-1 on Sierra Lawrence.
And Lawrence, while she does like to swing the bat, never afraid to take a walk. 43 free passes on the year. Reached base via a hit by pitch and a walk in yesterday's 5-run game as well.
3-1 offering from Wood. Inside part of the plate, but a called strike as it caught the inner edge of the zone as home plate umpire Naomi Erdahl goes up with the hand, and that'll run the count full 3-2.
Great command there by Wood, and that was a very close pitch. Erdahl's reaction a bit delayed.
3-2 from Wood. Swung on and missed as a good pitch from Wood just sort of fell out of the zone there, and Lawrence fooled as she's headed back to the dugout with the first strikeout of the game for the Wolverines and the first strikeout of the game for pitcher Kristen Wood.
Wood recorded 6 strikeouts in 7 innings against the Purdue Boilermakers in her last start. Not as high octane of a strikeout artist as Megan Betza, but she can definitely set other batters down.
Now bring Sierra Romero to the plate as the first pitch from Wood to Romero is inside. Good placement for strike one. Wood readies with the 0-1. Now be swung on and fouled back over on the first base side into some Lucky fans' hands, and a good snow cone fingertip grab there from a Lucky fan.
Gave the ball to an usher, and he pretended as though to toss it back her as a souvenir, but they got to get that baby back down to the field.
Anyways, the count 0-2 on Romero, and the 0-2 pitch inside part of the plate in the Northwestern contingency on the first base side wanted that one badly, but no call, and that'll make the count 1-2 on Sierra Romero.
Looks similar to the 3-1 pitch called a strike on Lawrence, so you can see why they would have wanted that one.
The 1-2. Called strike 3 on the outside part of the plate. Romero didn't lift the bat up off her shoulder, and the home plate umpire Naomi Erdahl sends her back to the dugout for the second strikeout for Wood and the second out of the inning, as the Wildcats are cruising early due to the nice pitching of Kristen Wood.
Wood showing good command with 2 strikes, throwing a couple strikeout pitches to the last 2 batters that were borderline unhittable.
That brings Kelly Christner to the plate. The first pitch to Christner outside part of the plate, but catches some edge, and that'll be a called strike 1.
Christner had a double over the center fielder's head in yesterday's game, in which pretty much the whole Wolverines offense got hot.
The 0-1 outside part of the plate. Good distance off, but a nice save by the catcher Nedling. And that'll be 1-1 on Christner.
Christner, a unanimous all first team Big Ten selection. All defensive selection, also led the Michigan Wolverines in home runs on the year.
Wood readies with the 1-1. And a check swing from Christner, but she did not go as the ball is off the plate for ball 2.
Wood trying to get a chase off the outside edge. She caught it with the first pitch for a called strike and since has missed with the last two. Now Christner with a favorable count.
Wood readies with the 2-1. And that'll be a bit low, but over the heart of the plate, just on the bottom edge of the zone, and ball 3, as the count is now 3-1 on Kelly Christner.
The outfield has her shaded deep, but with only 220 feet to dead center, might not be deep enough on a 3-1 count.
3-1 from Wood. Outside part of the plate, and that'll be ball 4 as the Wolverines get the first base runner of the game as Christner takes her bag down at first base.
Wood, I think wisely, tread carefully with that 3-1 pitch. Tried an off-speed offering, kept it down, missed the zone low, but you don't want to hang a pitch like that to Kelly Christner.
That'll bring Kelsey Susala to the plate as she looks to keep this 2-out rally alive for the Wolverines.
Christner stole 7 bases on the year in 8 attempts. Could look to go here.
First pitch to Susala is a called strike on the outside part of the plate. 0-1 on Kelsey Susala. And it did appear as Christner took a little bit of a jump, but maybe just testing the catcher Netling there.
Netling did come out of her crouch, but nothing doing.
The 0-1 from Wood. Off the plate for ball 1.
And Wood could definitely put a little extra juice on her fastball, trying to spot that on the outside corner. She's shown good command of it so far in the first inning.
The 1-1 from Wood is off the plate for a ball, and the throw down to second as Christner steals. She is called out at second base, and a close play, but a good throw from the catcher Netling down to the shortstop Filler gets Kelly Christner for the 3rd out of the inning as the Wolverines failed to do anything with her free base, and we head to the top of the 2nd inning with the score still 0-0.
That was a very quick transfer by the catcher Netling. She didn't put a lot on the throw, almost didn't even get out of her crouch, just threw it, tossed it into her hand and lofted it down to second base. A bit of a slow throw, but a quick snap tag by Andrea Filler down there at second base. A bang play. I thought Christner might have slid under the tag, but the ball did beat her there, and umpire Leah Bowen thought the tag got her before her feet touched second base.
And as we head to the top of the 2nd inning, we will now get you the rest of the Northwestern lineup. Starting with the 4th hitter in the lineup would be the catcher who just had the nice throw out, Sammy Nedling, batting 5th and playing first base. Julia Kewen batting 6th, and the designated player, Amy Laterno, batting 7th and playing left field will be Olivia Deere, batting 8th and playing 3rd base, Anna Edwards, and batting 9th playing 2nd base, Brooke Marquez. And Megan Betza warming up here between innings, getting ready to go back to work after striking out the side in the top of the 1st with what could be described as nothing less than just ho-hum for Betza this season, as she is your Big Ten pitcher of the year.
Yeah, and the top 6 in this Northwestern lineup, all the hitters are hitting over 300 on the year, all with some pop. All these hitters have 5 or more home runs, but Betza has seen the best that the Big Ten has to offer, and more often than not has sent them back to the bench with their tails between their legs. Aside from the occasional mistake and the occasion where she gets occasion where she gets a little too amped up and loses her command, walks some hitters, Betza has been lights out for this entire season.
And whenever she tends to lose her command, she does fall back onto that fastball and abandons the off-speed stuff. And sometimes it's there, sometimes it's not. But so far today, everything clicking for Megan Betza as Sammy Nedling prepares to come into the box and lead off the 2nd inning for the Wildcats. First pitch from Betza to Nedling. Going to be a called strike over the heart of the plate. Home plate umpire Erdahl goes up with the arm. Nedling, a .312 hitter this season, appeared in 28 games. The 0-1. A little bit high on the upper part of the zone, and that'll be ball 1. And the count's 1-1 on Sammy Nedling.
Not sure at all where that one missed. Looked to be about belt high and well within the bounds of the inside corner.
The 1-1. Low down in the zone for ball 2 as Nedling did not bite on the low cheese from Betza. The 2-1. Swung on and missed, and a big cut from Nedling there as it looked like she was ready to drive that one, but it just fell right underneath her bat for strike 2. The count's now 2-2.
Looked like a breaking ball that got right in under her hands. Good location by Megan Betza.
2-2. Inside part of the plate, but not enough of it. That'll run the count full, 3-2.
Looked like Betza went back to that same pitch, but couldn't quite get it in that same spot.
Payoff pitch from Betza. Will be foul tipped back into the chest protector of the Michigan catcher Lauren Sweet as that ball dribbles back towards the Michigan dugout.
Nedling with a lunging swing after that one. Nedling has been injured for part of the season, but strikes out about as often as she walks.
The 3-2 again. Inside part of the plate called strike 3 again. Nedling thought she had a walk, but the home plate umpire, Naomi Erdahl, says, no, you did not. And she walks back to the dugout for Betza's 4th strikeout of the game and the 4th out of the game in total, as it seems as though she doesn't need the help of her outfield players to get any outs here.
We've seen it before, and we're seeing the locked-in version of Megan Betza today.
That brings Julia Kewen to the plate for the Wildcats as the first pitch to Kewen inside for ball 1.
That one looked to be about the same spot as we saw against Lawrence and Romero back in the first inning, but Betza not getting that call here in the top of the second.
1-0. That inside part of the plate pitch again that just got Nedling also gets Kewen for the first strike of her at bat, and the count is 1-1. The 1-1. Keeps attacking that inside part of the plate. Missed that time as the count is now 2-1 on Julia Kewen. And catcher Lauren Sweet will head out to have a quick conversation with Megan Betza.
Looked to be a bit low with that one. Betza is wary of Kuhn's hitting ability. Julia Kuhn hitting .328 on the year for the Northwestern Wildcats. Of her 40 hits, 18 have gone for extra bases.
And it appears as though the meeting is over and Kuhn is back into the box with the count still 2-1. As Betza readies. That'll be inside yet again. Brushes Kuhn back about a half step. Count now 3-1.
The first baseman Swearingen playing several steps in from a position that they're now backing off to be about even at the bag.
3-1. On the outside part of the plate, but just catches enough to get a called strike as the count now runs full 3-2, and a well-placed pitch there from Betza as she finally decides to leave the inside part of the plate. And the 3-2 will be yet another called strike 3. Kuhn also thought she had a free base there. And again, Naomi Erdahl says, head back to the dugout, and Megan Betza records her 5th consecutive strikeout as the Wildcats have yet to put anything into play here.
Looked like a breaking ball with considerable late bite to it, almost left the zone. And the second straight Northwestern batter starts trotting down to first base before she gets rung up.
That brings the designated player, Amy Letourneau, to the plate. And the first pitch to Letourneau is a ball.
Letourneau, one of the tallest players on this Northwestern team, also one of the best hitters with a .359 average on the season.
1-0 from Betza. Swung on and missed, and that'll be strike 1.
That was a breaking ball that started up about belt high. Letourneau looked to deposit that belt high pitch over the left field fence, but it dropped down to about knee high, and Letourneau was left swinging at thin air.
In the 1-1. We swung on and fouled dribbler down the third base line. Letourneau got that one inside on the hands and fought it off. Count now 1-2.
That's it in on the hands with that one. She has been consistent in changing the eye levels of these Northwestern hitters, attacking the inside, pounding the outside, up and down. The Wildcats have been baffled.
The 1-2. Swung on and just got a piece of it. A little bit of a tip there. Keeps Amy Letourneau alive, and the count remains 1-2.
Looked like another off-speed offering from Betza on the inner half, and Letourneau really can't do anything with that pitch. If she takes it, it could be a called strike 3, especially with 2 strikes. But there's no way to get the barrel to bat on that unless you read it right out of her hand.
The 1-2 from Betza. Swung on and a little looper into center field, and it's past a sprinting Abby Ramirez for the first hit of the game for the Wildcats as Amy Letourneau finds herself on first base. And a good piece of hitting there from Letourneau as she just kind of blooped that one over second base. A bit of a hole there as both Ramirez at short and Romero at second faded a little bit towards the foul lines.
It looks like assistant coach Jennifer Brundage out there to have some words with Megan Betza on the circle. Not sure what the nature of this conversation is, as Betza has been, if not as dominant as she was in the first inning, pretty solid so far for the Wolverines.
Maybe giving up your first hit just requires a bit of a circle meeting there.
Guess so. Maybe they're just analyzing how they're going to approach Olivia Deer.
Or they think something's wrong with Megan Betza because she didn't strike her out.
That is not exactly the norm, allowing a base runner. That was the first ball put in play on the game by the Wildcats.
And that will bring Olivia Deer to the plate with a runner on first for the Wildcats and 2 out. And the first pitch from Betza is in there for a called strike. Deer this season hitting .276 with 7 home runs. Betza comes ready with the 0-1. Climb the ladder there, but Deer not biting. That'll make the count 1-1.
Letourneau has yet to record a stolen base on the year over there at first base.
Here. Just off the outside part of the plate, and the Wolverines fans wanted that one. But that'll be a ball and make the count 2-1.
Bit of zone inconsistency from home plate up Erdahl to start this game.
The 2-1 will be fouled, slapped back towards the third base dugout. And that'll make the count 2-2 on Olivia Deer.
A lot of hard ground balls hit down the third base line, well foul. Just shows how Betza has been getting in on the hands of these Northwestern hitters, not allowing them to straighten things out for the most part.
And the 2-2 from Betza will be in there for called strike 3. And every out recorded so far has been a strikeout for Megan Betza. And Northwestern will leave a runner on first after getting their first hit of the game. But Megan Betza continues to be a strikeout machine as we head to the bottom of the second inning with the score still 0-0.
Yeah, Megan Betza commanding the off-speed pitch there in addition to her fastball. Really mixing her pitch as well. She's got a biting hard slider to go with her fastball. That one more of a changeup look that she took a ton off of. And if you're sitting fastball at home plate, which you kind of have to against a pitcher with as much juice as Megan Betza in that right arm, it's really hard to pull the trigger when you see something else coming at you. So Betza in control through the first 2 innings, waiting for her offense to break through and supply a bit of support. And the second inning yesterday is where they did supply most of that support.
The Wolverines having a quick all-team meeting in front of their dugout on the third base side before this bottom of the second gets underway. Perhaps some words of encouragement. Yesterday, we know what the Wolverines did in the bottom of the second inning. They put up 13 runs in something like 12 hits against the very sad performance of
that was
yesterday. Was it?
That was Penn State.
That was Penn State yesterday.
It started. I know that Marlena Laubach came in relief. Macy Jones also came in relief for that inning. I think it took 3 pitchers to get 3 outs for the Nittany Lions in that game. And one of those outs was given to them in the form of a Tara Blanco sacrifice bunt at the beginning of the inning. Michigan got it done with small ball and got it done with a long ball as Sierra Romero, Aiden Falk, and Tara Blanco all with home runs in that monster second inning.
The highlight of that one was Romero's grand slam off of the scoreboard out in right center field.
Michigan looking to have a similar second inning as they have yet to put the ball in play after one.
Kelsey Susala will come back to the plate after the last half inning for the Wolverines ended as Kelly Christner was thrown out attempting to steal second base. And just a moment here as Kristen Wood gets ready to bring the first pitch of the bottom of the second here to Kelsey Susala. And the first pitch on the outside part of the plate, but just catches enough for a called strike as the count is 0-1. We have just received a photo of that throw out of Kelly Christner. It does appear as though her foot was there in time, but again, a difficult call there for the first base umpire, Leah Bowen. And the 0-1 pitch is going to be up and outside for ball one.
1-1 count on Susala. Worked the count, I believe, to 2-1 when Christner was caught swiping second in her last non-official at-bat.
The 1-1 to Susala will be fouled back behind home plate, and a nice catch made by a Michigan fan there. But the second strike of the at-bat for Susala is the counts 1-2.
That Michigan fan posed for the crowd, proud of himself for pulling that one in before handing it off to a local usher.
The 1-2 from Wood. Foul just again, a little dribbler down the first base side as Susala tries to stay alive there.
Defensive hack at an off-speed pitch tailing in on her hands. Almost tomahawked that one into foul territory toward the Northwestern dugout.
The 1-2 pitch. We swung on and grounded towards the second baseman, Marquez, and an easy flip over to Kuhn at first. And Susala is the first out of the second inning here.
Good pitch there by Kristen Wood getting in on the hands of Kelsey Susala. One hop easy play over at second base for the first out of the inning.
That'll bring the catcher Lauren Sweet to the plate. Sweet so far this season hitting .320 in 47 appearances. And the first pitch from Wood to Sweet will be in there for a called strike. Bit of an off-speed, just kind of looped in there over the heart of the plate. Count 0-1.
Really, really soft pitch that only works when you can catch the hitters off balance, but Wood's been pounding in that fastball, so it's a good complement to her current arsenal.
The 0-1 will come in a little bit inside. Looks like it might have caught the hand area of Sweet's bat and head back foul.
Yeah, I think Erdahl signaled for a foul ball right there. The scoreboard says the count is 1-1.
Scoreboard saying it was a ball. Looks as though they might be waiting a second for a change. Scoreboard has not changed yet, so the official count remains 1-1. And the 1-1 will be on the inside part of the plate, but just off it for ball two.
Well, I'd say the official count is the one that the umpire has, and Erdahl just raised two fingers on the right hand. That's the amount of strikes there are. So the count is 1-2 right now on Lauren Sweet.
And we'll go with 1-2. The 1-2. We swung on and a liner down the first base line, but foul. As Sweet got a little bit of a good cut on that one, but just not straight enough to keep it in play. The scoreboard has changed the official count now to 1-2. So that odd pitch was in fact a foul ball off of the skinny part of the bat of Sweet. Wood readies with another 1-2 pitch. And Sweet gets just a piece of that again to foul it back behind home plate and stay alive with a good defensive cut, and count remains 1-2.
Wood tried to climb the ladder on Lauren Sweet, but I bet she's faced enough batting practice against one of the best in the country at doing that she was just able to fend that one off.
And another 1-2 pitch from Wood as she winds. Sweet will foul that one back again behind home plate as Morris goes to reach for that one, but to no avail.
Yeah, that backstop has robbed me of about half dozen souvenirs over the course of the season calling softball and baseball games. I like to think I would have caught it.
Well, Morris would like to think. And another 1-2 pitch from Wood, another foul ball. This one, a high fly back towards the third base side as it ricochets around there. And turning into a bit of a duel here between Wood and Sweet, but the count is still 1-2.
But Wood has plenty of confidence in her stuff to keep attacking the strike zone against Lauren Sweet, not giving away any pitches.
And the 1-2 from Wood again. Will be up high, tried to climb the ladder there, but Sweet did not bite on that one as the count runs 2-2. None out, one on here in the bottom of the second inning. The score still Northwestern 0, Michigan 0, as the Wolverines are still looking for their first hit of the game. And the 2-2 from Wood. Just a bit of a foul tip yet again for Sweet, and she's fighting off anything and everything that comes towards her as Wood cannot seem to put her down, and the count remains 2-2.
That one off the plate outside. Good hand-eye coordination there by Lauren Sweet to keep the at-bat alive.
Two offering from Wood. Be swung and fouled back again. Another high fly down the third base side, and that one will ricochet around. And the foul balls continue to come from Lauren Sweet as she continues to keep herself alive and work the pitch count of Kristen Wood, who still can't put her down.
I think that's been about 5 foul balls in 5 swings for Lauren Sweet.
And 2-2 again. Outside part of the plate. The Northwestern fans wanted it, but a little bit too outside for home plate umpire Erdahl to call it, and the count is now full 3-2.
That left side edge of the plate has been one of contention between the two teams. Erdahl did not give that one to Kristen Wood.
And the payoff pitch from Wood. Fouled back yet again from Sweet as Morris looks to grab that one. Fouled directly behind home plate again, but the netting spoiling his chance at a souvenir again.
I think that would have hit the brick on our left, the brick facade, so don't think I had a chance at that one anyway.
Count still full. Lauren Sweet still battling Kristen Wood here. Wood comes with the full count pitch again as she winds. And that one's going to be skied into center field, but it looks like it'll stay in the confines as the center fielder Rabin gets underneath it to record the second out of the inning. But a big battle there for Lauren Sweet, and if nothing else, really worked the pitch count of Wood there in a very long at bat.
Sweet probably going to head back to the dugout with a sour taste in her mouth, as that was a good pitch to hit, and not able to get just quite enough of the barrel of the bat on that offering from Kristen Wood.
That one did fall just short of the warning track as Sabrina Rabin, the freshman player of the year in the Big Ten, was there to haul it in for the Wildcats. And that'll bring Lindsay Montemurano to the plate for the Wolverines with none on and 2 out here in the bottom of the second inning. Quick word with the pitcher Wood as she readies to bring the first pitch to Montemurano. Inside for ball 1.
Montemurano led off the second inning yesterday with a double for the Wolverines. Ended up coming to bat 3 times in the inning before bringing the inning to an end with a ground out to second base.
Looking to continue her second inning success here as the 1-0 from Wood comes in. Another one of those slow, very off-speed looping pitches just falls in there nicely for the first strike as the count is 1-1. Wood starting to get in a bit of a rhythm now. She readies with the 1-1. Tried to climb the ladder there high for ball 2.
For Lindsay Montemurano, her stats may not tell the whole a very impressive story for her this season, but she's had a lot of big hits and big moments for the Wolverines, starting that rally yesterday for them and hitting a walk-off home run and a run rule victory for Penn State in the in the Saturday game of that series.
The 2-1 from Wood. Just off the outside part of the plate, and the count now 3-1 on Lindsay Montemurano.
Montemurano with a pretty small strike zone at the plate, also not afraid to take a free pass. She's also been plunked a fair amount in this season as well.
We'll see what she does here with the 3-1. Wood winds and readies, and that's going to be low and in the dirt a little bit. And that'll be ball 4 as Montemurano takes her base. And the Wolverines have a little something going here with a runner on first and 2 out.
Montemurano, despite having fewer at-bats than anybody else in this starting lineup, third on the team in bases on balls on the season. With 35 going into this game, that number now 36.
That'll bring the designated player Aiden Falk to the plate as she looks to extend the inning here for the Wolverines. Wood gets ready with the first pitch to Falk. Off the plate for ball 1, and a good distance off the plate on that one, something we haven't seen much of from Kristen Wood so far today.
That one started out and stayed out. Aiden Falk, a powerful contributor to the Wolverines' big inning yesterday, deposited a 3-run homer just over that left field fence during that 13-run inning.
The 1-0 from Wood. Be swung and fouled towards the third base line. It appears as though it'll get out of play and towards the inside hitting cage. And the count 1-1 on Aiden Falk.
Falk does have ability to work counts against opposing pitchers. That one over the outside edge. Looked like Falk almost able to barrel that one up, but just missed the pitch.
The 1-1 pitch to Falk. Inside, just sort of half cutter swing, but held off. And that'll be ball 2 to make the count 2-1 on Aiden Falk. Oh, and a very, very late appeal from home plate umpire Naomi Erdahl down to third base umpire Terry Holt. And he says she did not go as well, and the count remains 2-1. Two-1 from Wood. It's going to be shot into left field as a ranging deer comes over to make the catch in foul territory, and that'll be the end of the inning for the Wolverines. And we head to the top of the third with the score still tied at 0. You're listening to WCBN FM Ann Arbor's coverage of Michigan women's softball.
This Wolverines lineup starting to get a little bit better swings on the ball, working the count against Wood, forcing her to go through some high-stress situations. I think in the second time around, after they've all gotten to see Wood, they'll be able to put a better medal on the softball. But Megan Betza, now it's on her to keep this Northwestern lineup quiet.
And while we're between innings here, still just admiring the way that the Michigan Wolverines fan base has traveled to Columbus here today. A stadium pretty packed full of Wolverines fans, eager to see this team advance to the final tonight.
And you would think that they might shy away from coming into enemy territory, a city in Columbus that strives to be anything but hospitable toward Wolverines and Wolverines fans, but they have shown up today.
Well, we were told at the hotel last night to avoid campus and not tell them where we were from.
And
if that's any indication of how it goes down here in Columbus.
Recapping you on some of the pregame honors issued to the Wolverines. You heard a handful of them throughout this broadcast, but Becca Garfinkel of the Wolverines also named to the All-Conference Sportsmanship Award team. Northwestern's Anna Peterson also received that honor. Haley Wagner, Kelly Christner, and Sierra Lawrence were all named to the all-defensive team in the Big Ten. Betza, Christner, and Romero were all unanimous all-first-team Big Ten selections. Wagner also an all-first-team Big Ten selection. On Northwestern, Phil and Rabin, as you heard. The second-team selections on the Wolverines are Sierra Lawrence, Abby Ramirez, and Lauren Sweet, the catcher, along with Andrea DePrima, Northwestern's catcher.
And it appears as though the warm-ups are just about done here as we're ready to start the top of the third inning. And stepping up to the plate for Northwestern to get things started here is going to be the third baseman, Anna Edwards. Betza steps to the rubber, and she's ready with the first pitch. They'll be on the outside part of the plate, but catches just enough for strike 1. And a well-placed pitch there from Betza gets her ahead early. She readies with the 0-1. Fouled back behind the plate into the netting yet again, and that'll run the count 0-2 on Edwards as she finds herself quickly behind to the always dangerous Megan Betza.
Edwards hitting 185 on the season with 4 home runs and 14 RBI and 104 at-bats.
The 0-2 pitch. Up just a little bit, maybe a titch off the plate, as that one is the first ball of the at-bat, and the count is 1-2. The 1-2 from Betza. Outside off the plate for ball 2, as Edwards fights back to make the count 2-2.
Betza's been playing with that upper and outer edge of the zone in this at-bat for Edwards. Look for her to come back in with one of these next pitches.
The 2-2 from Betza will be fouled and bounce off home plate and then off of the inside leg of Anna Edwards. She appears to be all right, though. And that'll keep the count at 2-2 as a good defensive cut keeps her up at the plate.
Betza left that breaking ball a bit up in the zone. Fortunate that Edwards unable to take advantage.
The 2-2. Inside part of the plate, catches just enough for called strike 3 again. And there have been 7 outs in this game, and all 7 of them have been strikeouts for Megan Betza.
And there it is. She was playing up and outside for most of the at-bat. Came inside with the fastball and froze Anna Edwards, sending her back to the dugout, going down looking.
And that'll bring up the number 9 hitter, the second baseman, Brooke Marquez, coming in hitting .240 on the year for the Wildcats. First pitch to Marquez is going to be swung and fouled back behind home plate for strike 1. Marquez is hitting .240. She's appeared in 27 games. This only her 19th start of the season, however, at second base. And Betza readies with the 0-1. Just a bit low, but over the heart of the plate. Not finding that bottom edge of the strike zone, though, and that'll make the count 1-1 on Brooke Marquez.
And it looked like Sweet exchanged words with home plate umpire Dahl, just probably asking where that one missed.
The 1-1 from Betza. And that one will be a called strike, even though Marquez took a bit of a check swing there. And Betza did find that upper and outer corner that time to make the count 1-2.
Betza's gone a little more to the off-speed stuff in this inning so far.
And Marquez gets the 1-2 off the plate. She thought about it but didn't go. And she'll stay alive as the count is now 2-2.
Betza went back with the fastball, and her pitches just complemented and set each other up, set themselves up so well. And that's part of the reason these Northwestern hitters have been so off balance so far.
2-2 to Marquez. It's going to be up again as Betza tried to climb the ladder and get Marquez to bite. She thought about it again, lifted up a little bit off her shoulder but didn't go. And the count is now full 3-2. And the full count pitch from Betza will be swung on and missed. Another strikeout for Megan Betza. That's 8 strikeouts and 8 total outs as Megan Betza just continues to do what she does best, Mo.
Yeah, it looked like the same blueprint as that last at-bat, going up and out for most of the at-bat, then coming back in with the fastball, inside corner at the knees, Marquez helpless.
That'll bring back up the leadoff hitter, Sabrina Rabin. And the first pitch to Rabin is going to be up high and over the glove of Sweet as that one flies all the way back to the backstop.
That was actually a foul ball.
Oh, she did get a piece of it.
Rabin squared to bunt and caught just a piece of it. The home plate umpire Dahl confirming that by raising her arms after the pitch.
There we go. So that will be 0-1 then on Sabrina Rabin, the freshman player of the year in the Big Ten. And the 0-1, Betza tried to climb the ladder there, and no avail, as that count is now 1-1 on Sabrina Rabin.
I think Betz is trying to keep the ball up in the zone to prevent Rabin from slapping a grounder through that drawn-in infield somewhere.
The 1-1 to Rabin. Will be in there for a called strike 2 as Rabin was ready to take a cut at it but decided not to, and that comes right over the heart of the plate to make the count 1-2. The 1-2 from Betza. Up high again, tried to climb the ladder yet again. And again to no avail as the count is now 2-2.
Sabrina Rabin did go down in the first inning swinging at some high cheese.
See if Betza comes low here. 2-2 from Betza. And that one's just going to be caught a little bit and plunked over the third base line foul. getting back to the dugout as Rabin stays alive.
Look to be more of that half swing, super slap approach by Sabrina Rabin. Another pitch up in the zone that she wasn't able to barrel up and straighten out into fair territory. Rabin with 0 home runs on the year does have 3 extra base hits, but the vast majority of her .416 average has come via the single.
2-2 from Betsa to Rabin. Will be just on top of the strike zone, just outside of it, and that'll make the count full 3-2 on Sabrina Rabin.
And Sweet held out there for an extra beat, but didn't hold it so long as to be disrespectful to the home plate umpire doll.
Payoff pitch now from Betsa to Rabin. Will be fouled back just over to the left of us here in the press box as that one finally got over the netting, but Mo wasn't ready with his glove there.
I would have been ready if it were coming to us, Jeremy.
And the count is still 3-2.
Trust me, I will put my body and my hands on the line to protect this equipment.
Payoff pitch again is going to be hit right back towards Betsa, and she'll make a quick toss over to Blanco at first. And the first out that was not a strikeout will end the top of the 3rd inning for the Wildcats as we head to the bottom of the 3rd with the game still scoreless. You're listening to WCBN FM Ann Arbor's coverage of Michigan women's softball.
And even though it was not a strikeout, Betsa still made that out herself. And isn't that something? A hot shot back to the pitcher, and Rabin still almost beat it out to first base. Michigan needed perfect execution on that grounder, and they got it with Betsa and Blanco.
Speed and short base paths will require that quick reflex from Betsa, but she got the job done there as she hasn't needed the help of any of her outfield players yet.
Man, with the kinds of wheels that Sabrina Rabin has, you know she's going to be a devastating force in this Big Ten for years to come.
It'll be the 8-9 and leadoff hitters for the Wolverines this inning. Blanco, Ramirez, and Lawrence due up against an equally well pitching pitcher in Kristen Wood, who has to this point been just as good as Megan Betsa, minus, every out being a strikeout.
Yeah, it's still equal amounts of base runners and batter space between the two over the course of 2 innings. Betsa, of course, extended that streak into the 3rd, and we'll see if Michigan can break Kristen Wood's streak of, her no-hit streak, I should say.
And Betsa did give up 1 hit, and to this point, Wood has not given up a hit yet. It appears as though Tara Blanco is taking some good cuts, trying to time some of the pitches of Wood here as we're waiting for the start of this bottom of the 3rd inning.
And really, that timing is so essential when the ball gets from the rubber to home plate. There's not a lot of distance there, and as Wood's able to step up near the front of the circle and deliver to home plate, there's even less time for Blanco to decide, and for all Michigan hitters to decide whether or not to swing. Requires just quick decision-making and a quick bat, and most of the Wolverines in this lineup, well, I'd say all the Wolverines do possess those traits. Otherwise, they wouldn't be able to dominate at such a high level in the Big Ten.
And a quick meeting on the circle with the entire Northwestern infield as they give a couple little excited jumps and break to allow Kristen Wood to get to the rubber and allow the catcher Sammy Nedling to get back to the plate as Tara Blanco steps in, and she's ready to get this bottom of the 3rd inning underway. Blanco hitting .279 on the season coming into this game today with 6 home runs and 41 RBIs. And the first pitch to Blanco from Wood is going to be on the outside part of the plate and a called strike from home plate umpire Erdahl. 0-1 on Tara Blanco. Wood taking her time, reading some signals. She winds and readies with the 0-1. Now be high and off the plate for ball 1. Make the count even 1-1.
Blanco with a very open stance. Has those long arms that she can extend out toward the outer half of the plate. Power to all fields for Tara Blanco.
Wood readies with the 1-1. She winds and fires. Now be up just a bit high over the center of the plate, but about chest level for Tara Blanco, and that'll make the count 2-1.
Blanco also got in on the power trip for the Wolverines, hitting back-to-back home runs behind Aiden Falk in yesterday's second inning.
The 2-1 to Blanco. It's going to be low and in the dirt. Skips up into the glove of the catcher, Sammy Nedling. And that'll make the count 3-1 on Tara Blanco.
Another one of those slow looping off-speed pitches from Wood that she has not hit the strike zone a lot with, but has commanded them well today.
Blanco looking for something good to hit here as Wood winds and readies with the 3-1. Off the plate, and that's going to let Blanco get down to first base as the Wolverines get a leadoff base runner here, and Wood walks another. And Carol Hutchins now coming out to talk with home plate umpire Naomi Erdahl.
Looks like a pinch runner. Mary Sabonik on first base for Tara Blanco. Sabonik actually got an opportunity to hit yesterday, something that she hasn't done much of. She is often the first Wolverine off the bench as a pinch runner.
So there will be a quick dispersing of personnel from around home plate as Abby Ramirez steps into the box now with a runner on first and none out here in the bottom of the third for the Michigan Wolverines.
The song Gasolina playing over the loudspeakers right now. Ramirez looking to fuel this Michigan rally in the bottom of the third.
Oh, Morris, how I love you. Keep it cheesy.
Yeah, I'd get tired of me too. It's been a long season.
Not over yet, and Wood is ready with the first pitch to Ramirez, and Ramirez is going to bunt, but she's quick, and she's just going to be caught by about a step and a half at first base as the third baseman, Anna Edwards, came in and charged that one and made a good throw over to Kuhn at first base to record the first out of the inning, but that will advance Sabonik to second base and bring up the leadoff hitter, Sierra Lawrence.
That was a picture-perfect sacrifice bunt by Ramirez. Almost beat that out, but credit Edwards. She was very quick at filling in, picking that up, and firing a strike over to the second baseman, Marquez, covering first.
And the first pitch to Sierra Lawrence will be off the plate just a little bit, but a called strike. Make the count 0-1. So a runner on second now with one out. Lawrence trying to bring Sabonik around to score. And we are still stuck in a scoreless deadlock here in the bottom of the third inning. The 0-1 to Lawrence inside, low and round the ankles there. Count 1-1.
Lawrence worked the count full before striking out on a pitch in the dirt back in the first inning. Cautious at the plate, trying to see more pitches from Kristen Wood before lifting the bat off her shoulder.
The 1-1 from Wood will be swung into left center field, and that one's going to get down between the left fielder and the center fielder. Sabonik took a late jump, but she's going to come around third and head for home. The throw not in time as Sabonik comes in to slide and score as Lawrence gets to second base, and that will be a double and an RBI for Sierra Lawrence as the Wolverines take a 1-0 lead here in the bottom of the third inning.
Sabonik made a wise decision, I would say, to wait on that one as Raven has so much speed in center field, but Lawrence found the right place with that line drive, plopped down in the gap, and Sabonik still had the speed to make up for it, scoring just in front of the one-hop strike from the shortstop, Filler.
She found the sweet spot, per se. That one bounced right underneath the Block M Michigan logo out in left center field. And the Wolverines find themselves now with a 1-0 lead as Sierra Romero steps to the plate with Lawrence on second and one out. And the first pitch from Wood to Romero. Romero skies one into center field as Rabin gets back, but not enough. She runs out of room, and that's going to be a home run for Sierra Romero just over the 220 sign in center field. It looks like Rabin was going to have enough room, but she did not. And Sierra Romero brings two home, including herself, and the Wolverines advance their lead to 3-0 off a big shot to center field.
A Rom bomb for Sierra Romero, and eats that pizza as she crosses home plate. A towering fly to center field, and I think the wind might have provided with just a bit extra push as it looked like the center fielder Rabin had that one tracked off the bat. I didn't think it would get out of here either, but it just had enough over 220 feet in center field.
Surprised the entire crowd here at Buckeye Field. Did, in fact, look like it was just going to be a bit of a line drive fly out to center field, but that one carried just enough and literally squeaking right over the 220 sign in center field. But nonetheless, the Wolverines tack on their second and third runs of this bottom of the third inning to take a 3-0 lead, and there's going to be some quick words with pitcher Kristen Wood, but she will stay in the circle for Northwestern.
Yeah, Wood had been rock solid through the first 2 innings, but she's coming a bit under fire here thanks to this barrage of hits by the Wolverine lineup. Romero, her second home run in as many games. Yesterday hitting the scoreboard, today landing one about 20 feet to the left into dead center field.
That'll bring Kelly Christner to the plate. Christner reached on a walk in her last at-bat and then was thrown out attempting to steal second base. First pitch from Wood to Christner will be just a bit low for ball 1. Boy, nobody thought that ball was going to get out of here.
Yeah, I think that the first person who was aware of that was Sabrina Rabin, as she just ran out of room in dead center.
The 1-0 pitch will be low and a little bit inside for ball 2.
Christner with a walk in her first at-bat. Got gunned down stealing second. The call, maybe not the best one, but looking to, again, start a one-out rally for the Wolverines.
And the 2-0 to Christner will be off the plate again and run the count 3-0. And Morris, what is the blanket policy for the Wolverines on 3-0?
Well, they pretty much take all the time, and I don't really see any reason for that to change right here with no one on base. Though Christner not all the way back in the box.
Well, we'll see what she decides to do here if she did, in fact, get a signal that she can swing. She did not, but the pitch is going to be a little bit high, but good enough for a strike to keep the count 3-1 and keep Christner in the box.
And, you know, she did take a half step back in the box as Wood entered her windup. So I'd say that was another one of those blanket takes on 3-0.
Wood ready with the 3-1. That'll be swung on by Christner and fouled back over towards the third base side, back near that indoor hitting area. Make the count 3-2, and it appears as though the Iowa Hawkeyes were warming up over there in that hitting area. They'll play right after this game at 6 o'clock, looking to advance to the championship game tonight at 8:30 against the winner of this game between the Wolverines and the Wildcats.
That was a good spot on 3-1 with that fastball right at the knees on the outside corner.
3-2 pitch. Be swung on and missed by Christner, and that'll be another strikeout for Kristen Wood, and a good spot there as it fell right underneath the bat of Christner, and she's back to the dugout disappointed with herself.
Yeah, Wood looked to be maybe a bit shaken to start that at bat, but came back with some dynamite pitches. That one a breaking ball under the hands of Christner. Good job to battle back. Christner couldn't catch it.
I'll bring Kelsey Susala to the plate with 2 out and none on here in the bottom of the third inning. The Wolverines have already scored 3 runs. And that one is going to be another one of those nice little looping, easy breakers that fools Susala and just falls in there for a strike. Count 0-1. The 0-1 pitch from Wood will be off the plate outside for ball 1. 1-1 on Kelsey Susala. She's 0 for 1 today. However's hit .369 this season in 52 games. And has hit 12 home runs and 52 RBIs. 1-1 pitch to Susala. Will be swung on and lined into right field for a base hit, and that's going to run to the wall and get past the right fielder, DePrima, and that will allow Susala to round first, and she was thinking 2 all the way there, and that'll be a quick double for Kelsey Susala.
Rocket line drive up her bat. Good job to quickly turn on that one and lace it into the corner, and good speed to get down to second base. Susala not ready to end this third inning for the Michigan Wolverines, who have really been laying the wood on Northwestern's pitcher Kristen.
And there's going to be a quick meeting with the entirety of the infield to try and calm down Kristen Wood here.
A go blue chant spreading across the crowd. Probably an echo that would be a nightmare for most of the staff of Ohio State Buckeyes here. Go blue echoing across their home softball field. But it's been all Wolverines today.
That'll bring Lauren Sweet to the plate. Runner on second and 2 out, and the first pitch from Wood to Sweet is off the plate outside for ball 1. Michigan leading this one 3-0, courtesy of 3 runs here in the bottom of the 3rd inning and a big 2-run home run from Sierra Romero. But the rally not quite over yet, as Wood still needs to put down another batter. The 1-0 to Sweet. Off the plate again for ball 2. It appears as though Wood has fallen out of her quick delivery system and is now taking a little bit more time between pitches to ready herself. She's ready with the 2-0 now. And that'll be low again. And that'll make the count 3-0. And don't expect Sweet to swing here, as Wood has had a little bit of trouble finding the strike zone with this at bat.
The Wolverines really set Wood on fire in this inning, but she's now moved to a bit of a slow burn.
The 3-0 in there for a strike. As expected, Sweet did not lift the bat off of her shoulder. Meanwhile, Morris Les Fabry sitting next to me, just preparing puns for the rest of all the listeners.
I've been conspicuously silent for the latter half of this inning, just preparing to unleash in these later innings.
The 3-1 pitch will be lined into center field. That'll allow Sweet to come around first, and Susala's going to round third and head for home. The throw not in time as Susala comes in to score, and Sweet goes to second base on the throw, and that'll be the 4th run of the inning as Michigan now leads this one 4-0, courtesy of the single and the advance on the throw by Lauren Sweet.
Well, with Wood on the mound, you could say that Blanco and Ramirez lay the kindling, and Romero has sparked a fire for this Michigan offense. They have caught fire and tallied 4 on the pitcher, Kristen Wood, who has probably been brought to a harsh reality after shutting down Purdue yesterday. This Michigan offense is an entirely different beast altogether.
Sweet just throwing a log and stoking that fire then, as Lindsay Montemurano comes to the plate. Sweet on second with 2 outs still here in the bottom of the 3rd. First pitch to Montemurano will be on the outside part of the plate, called strike 1.
Montemurano walked in her first at-bat. Very patient hitter at the plate for the Wolverines.
The 0-1 pitch from Wood. And it looked like an attempted bunt there perhaps from Montemurano, but she pulls back, and it'll be off the plate for ball 1, count now 1-1. Taking her time again is Wood between all of these pitches. Montemurano waits. And Wood looks ready to come with the 1-1. Now be swung on and missed. A big cut there from Montemurano, but that one low and outside as she chased, and count now 1-2.
That was a savage hack at a breaking ball down and away in the zone. Another good pitch by Kristen Wood, who is not ready to let this Wolverines team walk all over her.
Wood ready with the 1-2. Now be lined towards the shortstop Filler, and she'll toss over to Kuhn at first for the 3rd out of the inning, but not before the Wolverines tally 4 and take a 4-0 lead off of Kristen Wood. We are headed to the top of the 4th. You're listening to WCBN FM Ann Arbor's coverage of Michigan women's softball.
And with a 4-run cushion behind her, you get the feeling that Megan Betza is just ready to keep rolling against this Northwestern offense. She's been pretty much automatic thus far. That was really a sweet swing by Lauren Sweet, capping off a delicious 4th inning for the Wolverines, putting up 4 on the Wildcats.
I have no comment at this point.
Oh, come on. You would have busted out. You would have busted out a sugary pun if she had left the yard.
The 3rd inning was just laced with puns, Mo. Save some for later.
I mean, I'll have a full, I would say, 3 hours between the end of this game and the beginning of the championship, provided that Northwestern does not make a comeback in this one. So I don't really see the need to pace myself.
It's going to be a tall order against Megan Betza as she's just continued to shut down these Northwestern hitters here. She's only given up 1 hit and has struck out 8 over the course of 3 innings of work. And as the song TNT plays in the background, I don't think Betza could be described as anything less than dynamite.
Well, you can't spell Betsa without SAT, and she's really tested these Northwestern hitters throughout the course of this game.
That one was a reach.
That was such a reach.
That one was a bad reach.
I'm sorry about that one.
Take a little break for a bit. Just do some normal color for
All
a
right,
while.
yeah, you handle play-by-play this inning. I'll just keep quiet.
All right, quick mound meeting with Betsa and the rest of the infield. And this inning, it's going to be the 2, 3, 4 hitters for the Wildcats. It'll be Andrea DePrima, Andrea Filler, and Sammy Netling. And it appears as though things are ready to get back underway here. These TV timeouts giving us a bit longer break between innings as things chug along here from Buckeye Field in Columbus. Andrea DePrima steps to the plate, and the first pitch from Betsa to DePrima is going to be high and out of the zone for ball 1. The 1-0 pitch to DePrima is swung on and missed on the outside part of the plate. Strike 1. Count 1-1 now on Andrea DePrima.
Good pitch there from Betsa. Missed high with the first pitch and continued to attack that outside corner, hitting at the knees there.
Attaboy, Mo. The 1-1 from Betsa to DePrima. Be swung on and golfed into left field. Appears as though there will be enough space out there for Christner, and she does get under it to make the catch. And some good contact from DePrima, but not enough to carry it out of these walls here at Buckeye Field. That'll be the first out of the inning for Michigan and the Wildcats.
Well, Big Ten's first team all defensive player, Kelly Christner, will catch just about anything in her range out there in left field. That one well within her range and just able to camp under that one and make the catch right in front of the warning track.
And Andrea Filler now at the plate. First pitch from Betsa to Filler is going to be swung on and missed for strike 1.
Could say Filler came up empty-handed on that swing.
And he's back at it. He had one good color comment, and he's back at it already.
Good breaking ball. That missed the zone low. Filler with an aggressive hack there.
The 0-1 to Filler. Swung on and missed yet again. And that'll make the count 0-2 on Andrea Filler.
Looked like about the same pitch. Raised it up a bit so as to entice Filler to go after it. Betsa has been totally in command in this inning so far.
The 0-2 from Betsa. Swung on and missed again. Struck her out on 3 straight pitches. And that'll make the second out of the inning and the 9th strikeout for Megan Betsa. She sends another one home packing back to the dugout.
It looked like 3 straight breaking balls in about the same spot, just hammering that in on Andrea Filler, and got the same result on all 3 pitches. The breaking ball hovering around the ankles. Not much Filler could have done in that situation.
Now brings Sammy Netling, the catcher, to the plate. And the first pitch to Netling is going to be popped right back up to Betsa, and she'll make the catch herself. And that'll end the top of the 4th inning for the Wildcats with quick work for Megan Betsa yet again. We head to the bottom of the 4th. Score 4-0 in favor of the Michigan Wolverines. You're listening to WCBN FM Ann Arbor's coverage of Michigan women's softball.
Well, you know what they say. You can't spell Betsa without T-A-S-N-E, and she has been shockingly good for the Wolverines in this game so far.
How do I answer that?
You got to come up with something better, Jeremy.
It was the original was you can't spell Betsa without B-E-A-S-T, and it was taken from underneath me, and you've just ruined it in every single way, Morris. I have no words for you right now.
Well, I'll just have to fill in my own out of anagrams of other players' names as I've been doing so far. It looks like we got a new pitcher out there for the Northwestern Wildcats, number 8, Amy Letourneau. She has a 5.36 ERA on the year. Didn't get to pitch in Northwestern's last game against the Purdue Boilermakers thanks to Kristen Wood's dominant performance.
It looks like Lauren Connell and Tara Blanco are trying to lead the fans and starting a bit of a wave here at Buckeye Field, and seeing it as it is a majority of Michigan fans, you'd imagine they could get a slight wave going.
Yeah, they did the same thing at Alumni Field, but don't really want to range into enemy territory down that first baseline, so the wave really makes its full circuit around the bleachers, especially since the Northwestern contingent is on that right side, and they're not too happy right now.
The only Michigan fan that we saw outside of this ballpark in Columbus this weekend was a gentleman at the driving range this morning in a Michigan hat. Thought about saying hi to him, didn't. Kind of regret it. Needed a friend or two here in Columbus.
Yeah, Michigan playing an entirely different sport in softball, but looks like they brought out their 5-irons against Kristen Wood on the mound, and Sierra Romero able to golf one out to center field.
I tell you to stop, but you just don't stop firing on all cylinders. All right, that's going to bring Aiden Falk to the plate to start off the inning. For the Wolverines here, it'll be 7-8-9, Falk, Blanco, Ramirez. And we do have a pitching change for Northwestern. It'll be Kaylor Arnold. Or no, that'll be number 8. That'll be
I just told you this
Amy
in the
Letourneau.
break between innings, Jeremy. You need to listen to me more
I was
often.
too busy trying to listen to your terrible puns.
Trying to avoid listening to
Well,
those.
then clear it up for the listeners, Morris. And then the 1-0 pitch to Falk will be on the outside part of the plate for strike 1, 1-1 on Aiden Falk.
Letourneau, a 5.36 ERA on the year, 11-9 win-loss record, 98 innings pitched, 109 hits surrendered, and along with 83 walks and 90 strikeouts.
And the 1-1 pitch is going to be just flared out into center field for a base hit for Falk to get the inning going for the Wolverines. And a laser right in front of the center fielder, Rabin, gives the Wolverines their first base runner of the inning.
Yeah, Rabin just kind of had to freeze and let that one come to her. Falk hit it very hard, and looks like she will be replaced with a pinch runner over at first base. Probably either Nikki Vald or Olivia Richvalski, given the trend that Michigan has seen this season.
And we'll see who it is here. It's going to be Nikki Wald coming in to run at first base.
And Letourneau really had to turn around quickly as that one whistled by her head into center field.
Letourneau waiting in the circle for Tara Blanco to step to the plate, having a quick word with Coach Carol Hutchins over on the third base side, but she's in the plate and ready to go now. And Letourneau gets ready. And the first pitch from Letourneau to Blanco will be in there for a called strike. Good placement there from Letourneau, and count on Blanco is 0-1.
Good spot for that sinker on the outside corner. Blanco with the open stance, not quite as able to reach pitches on the outer edge of the plate.
The 0-1 to Blanco. An attempted bunt, and it looks like she got a little bit of it and just bounces into the knees of the catcher. No longer Netling, now Kaylor Arnold catching.
Yeah, she actually fouled that one. Blanco fouled that one off of her own right foot, had to walk out of the box and shake it off before stepping back in. The count now 0-2.
And the 0-2 pitch is going to be low and in the dirt, and Wald's going to go for the steal. She slides over second base and misses the bag after sliding a little bit too far, and this time another Wolverines runner is called out, attempting to steal second base, and that'll be the first out of the inning for the Wolverines.
A pitch in the dirt and a high throw from the catcher Arnold, but Wald not able to get in there. And again, it did look to me like she got this time her arm as she slid head first into the bag before the tag was applied, but another bang play goes against the Wolverines.
Blanco still at the plate with the count 1-2, and the 1-2 pitch fouled back behind home plate into the netting, so the count remains 1-2.
I eagerly await another screenshot of that stolen base attempt.
Blanco ready for the 1-2. And she's going to line this one into center field. This one will definitely stay in the park, into the glove of Rabin, about 10 steps shy of the warning track for the second out of the inning. And the Wolverines, after getting the lead runner on, now with nothing and 2 out. That'll bring Abby Ramirez to the plate.
Coach Hutchins has been eager to get her runners from first to second base in this game. Couple of caught stealings and a couple of sacrifice bunt attempts. The one time they were successful, they scored 4 runs in the inning.
First pitch to Ramirez up and outside for ball 1. And with a 4-0 lead, the Wolverines do have a little bit more room to play around here and try and move some base runners and sort of stay fresh, thinking now that they've got a good shot at making it to the championship game tonight. And the 1-0 pitch outside and high again for ball 2. Letourneau taking her time. Got to keep that hand dry, Morris. It Can get a little sweaty out there today after working as hard as they do on the mound. And the pitch is going to be grounded just past the diving glove of the second baseman, Marquez. And that'll be a bouncing base hit that rolls into center field for Abby Ramirez.
Good piece of hitting there for Ramirez, taking the pitch in on the hands and turning it right back up the middle. Now with a 2-out base runner, Sierra Lawrence looking to add to that 4-0 lead over Northwestern.
Sierra Lawrence steps to the plate with Ramirez on first and 2 out now. Wolverines lead this one 4-0 in the bottom of the 4th. And Letourneau readies the first pitch. High and outside, ball 1. Catcher Arnold had to get up for that one and make sure it didn't go to the backstop. And she's going to have a quick word with the pitcher Letourneau. Sort of settle her down after a couple erratic pitches.
Yeah, Letourneau's command has not been quite as good as Wood was through the first couple innings.
1-0 to Lawrence. Will be just a bit low for ball 2.
Letourneau looking to return out to that strike zone, but not able to find it so far against Sierra Lawrence.
Can't go 5 minutes. 5 minutes. The 2-0. Swung on and fouled back past the third baseline. That'll get out of the stadium. Golfed back there. And I'll make the count 2-1 on Sierra Lawrence.
You could tell Lawrence was hunting that 190 sign down the left field line. Turned out on that inside pitch, but could not quite barrel it up.
Letourneau is going to get ready with the 2-1, the windup in the delivery. That's going to be swung on and pulled again by Lawrence. This time a more burner foul ball down the third baseline. Count now 2-2.
Letourneau is doing a good job of keeping the ball in on her hands, not even catching the inside corner, but also not letting Lawrence turn around and put this one in fair territory.
2-2. Is going to hit Lawrence right in the backside, and she'll trot down to first base with a little bit of a giggle and get a high five down there. And that's going to leave runners on first and second with 2 out and send Sierra Romero to the plate.
I think Letourneau took exception to that one a little bit as Lawrence seemed to almost lean into that one. Obviously, she was just twisting out of the way, but she was crowding the plate a little bit. Letourneau kept trying to go back inside and came a little bit too far inside with 2 strikes on Lawrence.
Letourneau settled and ready to come back with the first pitch to Romero. That'll be low and bounce up into the pads of the catcher Arnold and allow the runners to advance to second and third. So Ramirez now on third and Lawrence on second, and things getting a little bit tighter here on the pitcher Letourneau.
Ramirez with an exceptional secondary lead on that play. Took off as soon as she saw it bounce in the dirt. Great awareness by Ramirez down at second base, now on third.
The 1-0 pitch to Romero, that twisted her up and inside too, but that one missed her just barely, and I'll make the count 2-0. Romero, of course, did hit that 2-run home run that just squeaked out of here to dead center field back in that 4-run third inning for the Wolverines. And a dangerous situation here for Letourneau. The 2-0 pitch, outside and high, ball 3.
And you rarely use the phrase squeaked out of here for a home run to dead center field, but that really is the feel that we got out of it. Usually Romero's home runs have a little more clout to them out to the opposite field.
3-0 pitch. And that'll be off the plate for ball 4, and the bases are juiced, as Morris would say now, and that's going to bring Kelly Christner to the plate. Well, you would assume that Sierra Romero wasn't going to swing at anything there, but nonetheless, Letourneau left it off the plate and gave her free bag down at first.
A little bit peculiar, the entire infield and only the infield coming in for a pep talk with the pitcher, Amy Letourneau. Usually the catcher or a coach would be involved, but in this case, the infield just trying to get their girl to get the last out there on the circle.
Kelly Christner comes to the plate with 18 home runs notched in her belt so far this season, and prime opportunity for her to drive a few more in here as the bases are loaded. First pitch from Letourneau to Christner is going to be inside part of the plate for called strike 1.
Good location with that pitch. Christner looked to be taking pretty much all the way as Letourneau has struggled with her command, but she certainly commanded that fastball well.
The 0-1 pitch be off and outside for ball 1. Count 1-1 on Kelly Christner with 3 ducks on the pond for her here. She's trying to get them back to home plate and advance this 4-run Wolverine lead. Letourneau slowly readies with the 1-1. And that'll be just on the outside part of the plate and about belly high for strike 2. Run the count 1-2. 2 out, bases loaded here for Kelly Christner. Letourneau having some struggles this inning. She's ready with the 1-2. That'll be on the outside part of the plate. Abby Ramirez did get a base hit into center field. Then Sierra Lawrence was plunked in the backside. And then Sierra Romero got herself a free bag on balls as well. And that leaves Kelly Christner in the position she's in now. And Letourneau just eager to throw one more strike and get herself out of this inning. And she's ready with the 2-2. It's going to be high as she tried to climb the ladder. Things are full now. And a little bit of a rousing cheer coming from around Buckeye Field here as the Wolverines fans are eager to see something out of Christner here. She's 0 for 1 so far today.
Runners will be off on contact, or I should say on the pitch with the count 3-2.
And the 3-2 will be swung on, and that's a line drive right down the first base line, and that's going to run back to the 190 sign in right field. That's going to bring 1, 2. That'll bring 3 around as Christner slides into third base with a triple, and the ball's going to get past third base, but it'll bounce up towards the fence as Christner slides into third, and she's got herself a 3 RBI triple as Ramirez, Lawrence, and Romero all come around to score and give the Wolverines a 7-0 lead here in the bottom of the 4th inning.
That swing looked a lot like Susala's double back there in the 3rd inning. She just turned on that one, ripped it down the first base line. And before the first baseman, Kuhn, could get her glove on it, that one was by her into the corner. And with Michigan off on contact, their speediest runners on the base paths, and Ramirez, Lawrence, and Romero, there was no question that 3 runs were going to score on that RBI triple.
And it looked as though Christner was going to think about maybe taking home herself after the throw into third base as she slid, got past a covering Anna Edwards, and she stayed at third anyways, and that'll leave Kelsey Susala to try and drive in Christner. Wolverines leading 7-0 now.
Good job there by Christner, getting all those ducks on the pond to fly home together.
Letourneau will be left in. She raised the first pitch to Susala, and that'll be off the plate and high for ball 1. Susala did have that double, as Morris mentioned, back in the 3rd inning, looking to channel that again here. And Letourneau trying to avoid that and just get out of this inning. The 1-0 is going to be off the plate again for ball 2.
Letourneau would like to turn over a new leaf starting next inning, but first she's got to escape the trouble she's gotten herself into in this one.
I think that's 4 Letourneau puns now. And the 2-0 is going to be high, and that'll mean catcher Arnold needs to get up out of her crouching position to save that one from going to the backstop. Count 3-0 now on Susala, and Letourneau can't seem to find the strike zone.
Well, it's a good thing Michigan's only played Northwestern once, otherwise the turnover rate would be pretty high.
I'm done. I'm just going to wait for the pitch now. 3-0 from Letourneau is going to be off the plate, and Susala will trot down to first base. Wolverines now with runners at the corners, and this 2-out hit fest continues as number 25, Lauren Sweet, the catcher, steps up to the plate now for the Wolverines.
Sweet with a rocket back up the middle, an RBI single in her last at-bat, looking to do more of the same, as doing so would put Michigan 1 inning away from ending this game.
If Michigan does score 1 more run, Northwestern would be down to their final 3 outs. First pitch to Sweet, off the plate. And Letourneau continues to struggle to find anything in the strike zone, and that's going to bring the catcher Arnold out to have a word with her.
And they are wary of Susala down at first base. I don't know how likely it is that Susala will take off, especially given that she is recovering from a leg-related injury. Only 2 stolen base attempts on the year, but with runners at the corners and 2 outs, it's also a prime stolen base situation.
Letourneau ready to go again with the 1-0. That'll be just catching enough of the outside part of the plate, and Susala advancing on the pitch with no throw down to second. So runners now at second and third, and a stolen base for Kelsey Susala. And the count is 1-1 on Lauren Sweet.
Bit of defensive indifference there for the Wildcats, focused on getting the batter Sweet out.
1-1. Off the plate again for ball 2. Sort of attacking that outside part of the plate on Sweet, not allowing anything to get too inside or over the plate for her to drive. But at some point, Letourneau is going to have to avoid the outside part of the plate because it becomes a little too predictable after a while. She raised with the 2-1. And just like that, she comes back inside with a good pitch and good location for strike 2. Count now 2-2 on Lauren Sweet.
And those inside pitches to lefties is where she's been getting a lot of her called strikes, but that's also the same spot that Susala and Christner turned down and ripped down the right field line. It's a dangerous zone.
The 2-2. Off the plate and the count full again. And there is a place to put Sweet, but I don't think you want to leave her on base with another bases loaded situation. So looks like it's going to be up to Letourneau to put something over the plate and attempt to fool her. And the payoff pitch. Swung on and grounded down the first base line, just foul. As Sweet stays alive.
That one looked to be hovering about belt high, maybe even higher. Sweet's eyes lit up as she lit into that one, but not able to straighten it out, and perhaps fortunate that that one trickled foul. She didn't get all of that.
Letourneau going to ready herself with another payoff pitch here to Sweet. And it comes across the plate, and another foul grounder just down the first base line again. Sweet continuing to take some more defensive cuts and keep herself alive here.
Laura not able to put the sweet spot of her bat on the ball, just fighting to stay alive here with this full count.
Letourneau getting ready with another payoff pitch. She winds and readies. That's going to be grounded down the first base line again. Sweet had that at bat earlier in the game where she fouled, I believe, 7 or 8 pitches off in a battle with the starting pitcher, Kristen Wood. That one eventually did end in and out. Sweet hoping to make better of this battle with Letourneau here. Count still full 3-2 as Letourneau readies. That'll be up and in and brush Sweet back, but she'll take her base with a quick look back at the umpire. And the bases are going to be loaded again for Lindsay Montemurano.
Letourneau has been living on that inside corner to lefty hitters, but definitely missed that time as Sweet had to back out to avoid getting hit. And
quick vote of confidence for Letourneau from her third baseman, Anna Edwards. A little high five, and she's back into the circle as Montemurano is back to the plate. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Wolverines have already scored 3 in this inning and lead at 7-0. First pitch is going to be grounded back towards the shortstop, and that'll be Filler, and she'll just step on the bag at second to end the threat there. But not until the Wolverines tack on 3 more to take a 7-0 lead as we head to the top of the 5th inning here. You are listening to WCBN Sports coverage of Michigan women's softball.
Michigan offense just continued to pour it on. It really doesn't matter who the opposing team sends onto the mound onto the circle when Michigan is locked in as they have been in these last 2 innings. And over the course of these last 2 games, in Michigan on a 17-game win streak heading into the tournament, is looking to extend that to 19. This is a team on a roll, and with Minnesota gone from the Big Ten tournament, it's hard to imagine a team that will put an end to this run. However, waiting for them on the other side of the bracket are the Iowa Hawkeyes, who have made a surprising run. They eliminated the Gophers yesterday, winning 2-0 on a shutout performance by Shayla Starkenberg. The only team other than Minnesota in the Big Ten to have defeated the Wolverines on the year. Very well could be awaiting the Wolverines in the finale of the Big Ten tournament, but first they'll have to get past Nebraska. That game will probably be broadcast on the Big Ten Network after this one.
That'll be at 6 o'clock, I believe. 6 o'clock, yes. And then the winner of that game will have to come right back to face what is looking at the moment like the Wolverines, but still anyone's game here as we head to the top of the 5th. And I think things have gone about as well as they could have for Megan Betza so far today. She hasn't thrown that many pitches. It's been a bit of a relaxed day thus far, and that's good news for the Wolverines, as they might look to her again if they are to make it to the championship game later tonight. The duo of her and Haley Wagner in the circle for the Wolverines have been nothing short of masterful this season. Betsa getting the Big Ten Pitcher of the Year honors, but at the same time, Wagner also getting all defensive team nods in the circle.
I mean, all I got to say is that can't spell Megan without G-E-M, and she has thrown a gem so far today here at Buckeye Field.
He actually came up with a decent one. I'll give it to you, Mo.
Oh, come on. They're
that
all
one wasn't
gold.
Bad.
I think they're all gold.
There were some reaches. SAT was a little bit of a reach.
Perhaps.
That'll bring Julia Kuhn up to the plate for the Wildcats to start off the top of the 5th inning here. And the first pitch to Kuhn over the heart of the plate for called strike one. It'll be Kuhn, Letourneau, and Deere for the Wildcats here in the top of the 5th. There are 5, 6, 7 hitters. The 0-1 pitch to Kuhn, swung on and missed, and that'll quickly run the count 0-2 on Kuhn. She's 0 for 1 today. Still a .328 hitter on the season in 44 games. And a little bit of pop with 5 home runs. The 0-2 to Kuhn. Betsa tried to climb the ladder there. Kuhn wasn't taking, and that'll be 1-2.
That one was all heat up in the zone, and I'm a little surprised Kuhn was able to hold back on that one as she came up with nothing but air on her first 2 swings.
The 1-2 from Betsa will be swung on and fouled back into the netting behind home plate. Defensive swing from Kuhn keeps her alive at 1-2. Betsa looking to put away Kuhn here with the 1-2. Swung on, and that'll be lined into right field, but right into the glove of Kelsey Susala, who only had to take about 2 steps forward as it flew right into her mitt for the first out of the inning.
That one, the most solid piece of contact we've seen off of a Northwestern bat in today's game, I'd say.
With the exception of the base hit in the 2nd inning, I believe, yeah.
Well, I remember that was kind of a duck snort in on the hands. That one was more of a line shot, but didn't find the right place.
The now pitcher, Amy Letourneau, up to the plate. First pitch to her is going to be fouled back right towards the netting, and it looks as though Lauren Sweet lost that one as it fell behind her. And it was in playable territory, but just couldn't quite get their eyes on it. The sun's still beaming down here on Buckeye Field today, perhaps playing a bit of a role in that, but Letourneau lives, but count 0-1. 1 out and none on here for Northwestern. In the top of the 5th inning, they are down to the Wolverines right now, 7-0. Betsa readies with the 0-1. Off the plate and outside for ball 1.
Sweet again turns around and just verifies that one missed either outside or high. Just checking. Very close pitch there from Betsa.
Betsa readies with the 1-1. Climbed the ladder there. Letourneau thought about it, but held up. And that'll be ball 2. Count 2-1 on Letourneau, who started out today as the designated player, but after Kristen Wood was hit out of the game by the Wolverines offense, she came in to pitch in the last inning and gave up 3 runs. The 2-1 is going to be low and at her feet, inside part of the plate, ball 3. 3-1 on Amy Letourneau. Betsa readies with the 3-1. And that'll be in there over the heart of the plate, right at the knees for strike 2. Count now full, 3-2.
Betsa struck out 9, giving up 1 hit over 4 1/3 innings pitch, yet to issue a walk on today's game.
The payoff pitch from Betsa is swung on by Letourneau into left field on a line, and again, right into the glove of Kelly Christner. And that's 2 straight line drives. They're good pieces of hitting, but just right into the gloves of the outfielders in left and right field.
Well, sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. Betsa has been hit hard in this inning, but both line shots have found the gloves of her corner outfielders. Perhaps Deere's going to hit one to center to complete the trifecta, finding Sierra Lawrence some action out there.
That does bring Olivia Deere to the plate with 2 outs here. And the first pitch to Deere is going to be inside and off the plate for ball 1. Betts is ready again with the 1-0, working quickly now. Climb the ladder there. Deer didn't want any of it. And that'll be ball 2, count now 2-0.
Deer's got a very quiet stance, her feet close together, stands with her back foot on the back of the batter's box, ready to wait on any breaking balls that Betsa sends in.
The 2-0 will be high and outside again for ball 3, as Lauren Sweet kind of had to get up a little bit out of her stance to reach for that one. And Betsa finds herself in an unfamiliar behind 3 balls to no strikes position. Let's see what she brings here. And that'll be a strike right over the plate. Deer didn't even think about swinging there, and that'll make the count 3-1. See if Deer takes here again. 3-1 offering from Betsa. Will be fouled back behind home plate. This one will get out of play. And Deer now finding herself in a full count after being ahead. 3 balls to no strikes.
Betts, after missing with the first 3 pitches, had to hunt for the strike zone against Olivia Deer. Has found it with the last 2 pitches.
She'll look to put Deer away here with the payoff pitch. Betsa winds and readies. And swung on and missed. And Megan Betsa continues to do what Megan Betsa does, and that's strike out hitters. And the Wildcats of Northwestern find themselves coming home with nothing yet again as we head to the bottom of the 5th inning with the Wolverines maintaining a 7-0 lead. You're listening to WCBN FM Ann Arbor's coverage of Michigan women's softball.
Well, as you saw right there, Olivia Deer, no match for the Wolverine on the mound. Megan Betsa, 5 shutout innings, 10 strikeouts on that foul tip into the glove. She's rolling so far. Michigan's offense rolling against Northwestern's bullpen, and right now it seems like the end is all but academic as to when it will end in the 5th, 6th, or 7th, but the Wolverines looking untouchable as a team right now.
If the Wolverines score another run, it will be over. As the 8 runs after 5 run rule limit does still apply here in the championship series. Looks as though we might have some substitutions here for the Wolverines, as there was a quick chat between Carol Hutchins and the home plate umpire, Naomi Erdahl.
I think they're going to reestablish Aiden Falk in the lineup, as she was pinch run for by Nikki Wald, but
camaraderie visible down on the first base line as Haley Wagner gives a massage to Coach Carol Hutchins as she waits for the start of this inning.
Yeah, Coach Hutch, definitely a fiery competitor, but can't be too stressed out right now as her team has looked very good here in Columbus for this tournament.
Well, you can't be too stressed when you're getting a lovely back massage like that between innings.
It will be the 7, 8, 9 hitters for the Wolverines. Falk ripped a single up the middle in her last at-bat. She'll be followed by Blanco, and then Abby Ramirez. Ramirez 1 for 1 with a sac bunt.
Letourneau will stay in the circle after giving up 3 runs the last inning to the Wolverines.
The wind has been consistent, as has the weather here at Buckeye Field. It's been partly cloudy, clouds occasionally obstructing the sun, but pretty temperate and warm. Chances of thunderstorms for later in this day, so we shall see if we can even get the championship game in before it becomes too late for all of us.
Right now, it doesn't look like a storm cloud in the sky, but things can change quickly.
Well, we're from the Midwest, Jeremy. We know that the weather can change in a matter of minutes.
Even here in Ohio.
Even here in Ohio. They're still part of the Midwest. I mean, I'm no meteorology expert, but we did stay at a Holiday Inn Express last night, so I think it's safe to say we know what we're talking about.
That we did. Let it be known as well that I did write a Block M Go Blue into the mirror in the bathroom after a steam blanket covered the mirror this morning, leaving a nice present for whoever cleans that one. Now bring Aiden Falk to the plate, and the first pitch to Falk is going to be a little bit high and a bit inside for ball 1.
You're such a vandal, Jeremy. You're lucky you haven't been caught. You're going to get in such big trouble.
Well, you know, they might hunt us down. The 1-0 to Falk will be fouled back towards the third base line. A good grab made there on the fly by a lucky Wolverines fan. And he'll immediately look for who he has to throw that ball back to before they come up and find out he's a Michigan fan and swipe it from him.
Looks like he gave it to his son to toss down to the usher.
Count 1-1 on Falk as Letourneau readies. And the 1-1 will be off the plate by a good margin to the outside for ball 2. Count 2-1.
Yeah, that pitch started outside and it stayed outside. Falk not tempted by that one.
Wind starting to pick up here, blowing a little bit harder from left to right. As the 2-1 pitch to Falk comes in off the plate again, bouncing up and in as the catcher Arnold makes a nice stop there, but the count now 3-1. And that leaves Arnold and Letourneau to discuss some things on the circle as to how they want to attack. Falk now down 3-1 in the count. And some quick words exchanged, and they are back now. As Arnold gets ready to get back into her crouch and Letourneau gets ready to deliver some more pitches. Falk back in as well into her stance and ready. Falk 1 for 2 in today's game. As that one is grounded right towards the first baseman, Kuhn, but that goes right under her glove. And that's going to be a single into right field for Aiden Falk. And it looked as though that should have been a play that should have been made by Kuhn.
The reflexes not quite quick enough. It's very hard to make a play at either corner infield spot in a softball game because of the close proximity to home plate. Falk hit that one on the ground, but hit it hard, and Kuhn not able to come up with that one.
That'll bring Tara Blanco to the plate with runner on first and none out here in the bottom of the 5th inning. And the first pitch to Blanco will be just on the outside part of the plate for a called strike 1.
Looks like Falk will stay on first base, running for herself after she was replaced with a pinch runner back in the 3rd inning.
Blanco stands in ready for the 0-1. Now be inside off the plate for ball 1. Count 1-1. Blanco 0 for 1 in today's game. Did get a walk earlier. She looks to make something happen here for the Wolverines in the bottom of the 5th. The 1-1 pitch will be lined into center field, back, and that one is gone. A line drive home run brings 2 around for the Wolverines, and that is going to do it as they take this one 9-0 via run rule from Northwestern to advance to tonight's championship game. And with one crack of the bat, that's it. All she wrote, Tara Blanco sends them to the championship game tonight at 8:30 and sends Northwestern home packing from the tournament. Morris, what was that?
That was a great swing by Tara Blanco. Found a pitch right down the heart of the plate and laced it into center field. Romero might have squeaked one over that center field fence, but an absolute no-doubter off the bat of Tara Blanco sends the Wolverines triumphantly into the championship, which we will call for you later on Buckeye Field.
We will be back at 8:30 tonight, and pending the outcome of Nebraska and Iowa, Michigan will be facing one of those 2 teams for the Big Ten Tournament Championship later on tonight. Morris and I will be back again at 8:30 on WCBN Sports. Catch us on YouTube. We will tweet out our link at WCBN Sports. Also, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel if you haven't already. And until 8:30 tonight, we will leave you with a good afternoon and a Go Blue.